Welcome back to my channel. My name is Jocelyn, and for today's topic, I'm going to discuss the entry requirements for all dual citizens entering Philippines. Please take note that dual citizens are also Filipino citizens. However, there are strict immigration entry requirements. Let me discuss the latest update. All dual citizens have two options. First, you must present your foreign passport plus your valid Philippine passport, or your foreign passport plus 3 pages of your dual citizenship documents. You must present all of them, not just the identification certificate. Please also be aware of the new immigration advisory when you are entering the Philippines without using a Philippine passport. What can you present when your passport has expired or you've lost your Philippine passport? If your passport has been lost, damaged, or expired, you have an option. Filipinos without Philippine passport can travel to Philippines by obtaining a travel document from Philippine Consulate abroad for emergency use. However, a travel document is allowed only for applicants who cannot be issued a Philippine passport and have an emergency travel to the Philippines, such as due to medical or legal reasons or death in the family. This travel document is only for one-time use and you can only use it for 30 days. But once you arrive in the Philippines, you can actually apply for a new Philippine passport. But generally, Filipinos can travel as long as you have the necessary immigration requirements. During the pandemic, Filipinos have less restrictive travel protocols for quarantine and testing purposes. In addition, unvaccinated Filipinos can still enter Philippines. For all Filipino citizens and dual citizens, travel insurance is not required. The COVID travel insurance is only required for all foreign nationals. In addition, your passport do not need to be valid for 6 months at the time of arrival. Also, you don't need a return ticket for 30 days. For all dual citizens, please take note of this important requirement if you have a dual passport when entering. All passengers who use these travel documents upon arrival and were admitted under the same status shall be required to present the same during departure. Accordingly, if you use a travel document, you will also be required to present the above documents during departure. Non-presentation of the required documents shall be a ground for the deferral of your departure. So please take note of this important advisory. In essence, if you arrived in the Philippines using these travel documents, you must also use the same documents to exit the Philippines. If you are a dual citizen, you must present your foreign passport and your valid Philippine passport. However, if you have lost your Philippine passport or it has already been expired, you must present your foreign passport and your dual citizenship documents. There are 3 pages to the dual citizenship document, so you must bring all the 3 pages proving that you are also a dual citizen. Dual citizens do not need a travel insurance. In addition, you don't need to comply with the return ticket requirement, or your passport do not need to be valid for at least 6 months. So I'm referring to the Philippine passport. However, if you have a foreign passport, your foreign passport must be at least 6 months and beyond. It is more important than ever to become a dual citizen. Another advantage of being a dual citizen is that you have 2 options. Either you can present a negative RT-PCR test prior to departure from country of origin, or you can also present proof of recovery from COVID. If you are a dual citizen but you are traveling with your foreign spouse, here are the requirements. And the foreign spouse must be a national of a country included under EO 408. Also, you must be fully vaccinated, must carry acceptable proof of vaccination, and you must also present a negative RT-PCR test taken within 48 hours prior to the date and time of departure from the country of origin or first port of embarkation. You must have a passport valid for 6 months, and you must also obtain a travel insurance with a minimum coverage of $35,000 US. In addition, you are no longer required to present a return ticket. Also, if you are a fully vaccinated dual citizen, you don't need to undergo facility-based quarantine. However, there is a quarantine for unvaccinated Filipinos. So if you are a dual citizen and you are unvaccinated, you must undergo facility-based quarantine. For Filipino citizens who are unable to comply with the conditions or requirements, you will be considered as unvaccinated, and you will be subject to the entry, testing, and quarantine protocols for unvaccinated. Here are the requirements. First, you must present a negative RT-PCR test taken within 48 hours prior to the date and time of your departure from the country of origin. So this is the first port of embarkation. In addition, you must also undergo facility-based quarantine until the release of your negative RT-PCR test on the 5th day, and you will also be required to home quarantine until the 14th day of your arrival. The local government units of destination and the Barangay Health Emergency Response will be tasked to monitor those arriving passengers for home quarantine purposes. If you are a dual citizen and you have unvaccinated or vaccinated minor children, for unvaccinated minor Filipino nationals below 12 years of age, you shall follow the quarantine protocols of your parent or guardian. For minors 12 to 17 years of age, you shall follow your vaccination status for purposes of quarantine protocols. So if you're unvaccinated, you will have 5 days of hotel quarantine and you will be tested on the 5th day. And your parents shall accompany you if you are unvaccinated. For Filipino citizens traveling with foreign child or children, here are the requirements. Unvaccinated minor children below 12 years of age traveling with their fully vaccinated parent can enter. However, the foreign child must be a national of a country included under Executive Order Number 408 for visa-free entry. Also, the child must present a negative RT-PCR test taken within 48 hours prior to the date and time of departure. Also, the passport must be valid for at least 6 months at the time of arrival. Another requirement: travel insurance for COVID-19 treatment costs with a minimum coverage of $35,000 US for the duration of their stay in the Philippines. There is another workaround to this one. If you are still in a foreign country and if you have time before traveling to the Philippines, please report the birth of your child and eventually you can apply for a Philippine passport. This is the only workaround that I can see if you wanted to avoid buying travel insurance. However, if there's no time to send the report of birth and there's no way to get a Philippine passport for your child, then go ahead and get this travel insurance. Also, return ticket is no longer required. For fully recovered Filipino nationals with positive RT-PCR test, you can still enter the Philippines as long as you have a positive RT-PCR test not earlier than 10 days, but not later than 30 days prior to the date and time of departure from the country of origin. Another positive test needed is your test taken within 48 hours prior to the date and time of departure from the country of origin. So you will have to present 2 positive tests in order to avail of this fully recovered rule for Filipino nationals. In addition, you must also present a medical certificate. There are certain requirements that you needed to comply for you to be able to use the medical certificate. The medical certificate must be issued by a licensed physician stating that the Filipino national, certifying that he or she was an asymptomatic, mild, moderate, severe, or critical case of COVID-19, as the case may be, or has completed the mandatory isolation period. The isolation period is from the country of origin, not necessarily the isolation requirements in the Philippines. Also, must certify that the Filipino is no longer infectious and has been allowed free movement and travel. So, in short, the Filipino national must be cleared for travel. Here is the latest quarantine requirements for those fully recovered Filipino nationals with positive RT-PCR test results. For those who are vaccinated, there is actually no facility-based quarantine. All you have to do is self-monitor for any sign or symptom for 7 days, with the first day being the date of arrival, and shall be required to report to the local government unit of destination upon the manifestation of symptoms, if any. For unvaccinated, you will be required to quarantine in a facility-based hotel until the release of a negative RT-PCR test taken on the 5th day, and you will be required to undergo home quarantine until the 14th day, with the date of arrival being the 1st. If you test positive, the isolation in Philippines is 10 days for mild, and for serious symptoms, it will be 21 days. Also, all inbound Filipinos shall register with a One Health Pass prior to arrival in the Philippines. So this must be done within 3 days prior to flying in the Philippines. In addition, for those required to quarantine in a hotel facility, must have confirmed hotel booking. Go to One Health Pass and find the quarantine facility list. For those with connecting flights, pre-book your hotel at the first point of entry and not on final destination. In addition, please register through the Traze Mobile Application. For those asking regarding the use of face shield and a face mask, face shield is optional in alert levels 1, 2, or 3. Here are the complete rules regarding the use of face shield. Please refer to this guidance. Also, the rules can change anytime, but face mask is still required. If you are a dual citizen, can you stay permanently in the Philippines? The answer is yes. You are also a Filipino. Filipino citizens can stay indefinitely in the Philippines. If you recently traveled in the Philippines, please share your travel experience. I would really appreciate it. If you have any other questions or comments, please post them down below and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you guys for supporting my channel, and if you haven't liked this video, please give it a big thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe and hit that notification bell. I always welcome new subscribers. Thank you guys for watching. I hope everyone is staying safe and have a great day.